Alright, I told you guys on Twitter on Saturday night I was going to be making a video about this, but then I forgot that the Girl Fiend had my camera. Thanks a lot, Girl Fiend.
Yeah.
Anyway, um, this was about Doug Walker announcing that the Nostalgia Critic character is done. He basically made that announcement on thatguywiththeglasses.com. And a lot of you guys have been asking me about it. I've seen some people just upset and wondering why is he doing this? It's still significantly popular. It's one of the main driving forces behind that website. Why would he do something like this? And I gotta say that now all those things may be fully or partly true. It is hands down the single biggest drawing entity to that website. I know a lot of people might like his website for one thing or something else, but let's be realistic. Those Nostalgia Critic reviews that have been pretty much been done for, 4 or 5 years now, pretty much every single week, it's that content that is the premier content of that website, and Doug Walker is basically saying he's done with it. So, what do I think about this? I think this is quite possibly one of the brightest moves that an internet personality, a hyper popular internet personality, has done. As he said in his Done with Nostalgia Critic video, I forget the exact name of it, he realizes the character is done. And as someone myself who has watched his Nostalgia Critic reviews going back to 4+ years now, I can tell you the later reviews I've watched maybe one out of every three, but there was a good time span of about 3 years where I literally watched them every single week they were released. So I just want to say thank you, Doug, for making an entertaining product that got me to come back every single week and got many people to come back to this day every single week. But with all good things, it got to the point where I was just like, the originality is gone. The humor is repetitive. This review looks just like that review, which is like that review, and on and on. And it just got to the point where I was just like, I'm really not watching them unless I see it's a movie that I found of particular interest, or if it was a movie I never heard of, I didn't even, bother watching it. It got to the point where I just really didn't even care. And I'm sure he knew this. I mean, if you look at the website traffic alone on his website, and I'll put a screenshot on the screen here, you could see just a year ago, last July, he was averaging about 242,000 views based on, take that to today, where he's getting around 118,000 views. That is a significant drop off. Now, you could attribute that to many things, and by the way, I'll put a link in the video description, or there's a number of other websites that show you those public access data for websites, and that could be attributed to a lot of things. One of which I would like to feel is that people are just getting turned off on his website because there's a lot of content out there from other websites. A website like thatguywiththeglasses.com isn't this exclusive entity that makes videos like this, or just people that just peruse the internet have many of any things to look at, and something like this doesn't stick out from the pack anymore, and he knows this. And one of the things that he said in his video that I feel is the right direction for what he's doing is he's basically taken some money and invested in a studio where he's going to do bigger scale productions. And good for him. He's trying something different because he sees the writing on the wall. What is going on right now isn't working. I mean, well, it's working. I mean, he's by no means a poor man based on the website traffic he's getting right now, but it wasn't working as well as the past, and there's an obvious downward trend. So why not try something new? It's either just keep going with the same path and keep going down and down, or try something new. So to all his fans that are wondering why he's getting rid of something that's, hyper popular on his website, he wants to create something else. He wants to do something that he can feel is potentially better, something that is fresh, something that maybe catches on the same way that the Nostalgia Critic reviews caught on. So I really have no criticisms for Doug Walker. The one thing I would have said that I think he should have done different is keep doing the Nostalgia Critic reviews up until that next project got launched. Because if there's a significant amount of downtime, a lot of the fans are just going to become complacent, and they're going to be like, oh, well, I guess he's not creating anything else, and they're just going to steer away from his website altogether, or forget to check back, or maybe check back months down the road, and it's going to, hurt him in the long run. So I think he should have just kept doing the Nostalgia Critic reviews up until that next project release date. And to a lot of other people out there that are doing reviews that don't realize when their content is being run into the ground, this is a perfect example of that. This is a perfect example of when the wells run dry and the criticisms are all the same of this is just becoming generic. This is not seeming original anymore. Just all that stuff. Then go with something else. Doug Walker doesn't care that he's getting rid of the most popular, like I said, entity, the category, whatever you want to call it, on his website, because he wants to try something else. So props to him for that. And everything in life runs into things like this. Like I used to love the show Roseanne, and I can tell you right now that is probably both my favorite and most hated television show, because in the final years of that show, it became some of the most unwatchable television on TV. And you got to wonder, if Doug's thinking about stuff like that, because a lot of TV shows and a lot of things run themselves into the ground, all because the director or the person in charge just doesn't care. They're just like, oh, well, let's just keep making this stuff because. And if you don't have anything to add after that because, then you're just going to sink. So good work on Doug Walker for, trying to create a new next big hit on his website. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, things went down when Spoonie 1 left and all this other stuff. Like, let's be realistic. That site was Doug Walker's website. That was his baby, and people came there because he was there. Yes, a few people came in because of other people that were there, but he was the bulk of the entertainment on that website. And like he said in that video, don't be surprised if that comes back. That's why I put, end in quotes in the title here, because we all know there's going to be a cameo or two down the road. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you see, 2 or 3 Nostalgia Critics every single year, because it'll keep it fresh. I mean, he's been doing this every single week for 4+ years. Every single week, and I don't care what criticisms you have for this guy, and the guy does deserve some criticism, because there's been some things he's done that have warranted criticism, so don't think I'm giving him a pass on every single thing he's done. But a lot of his criticisms he has answered. Like, remember when he did that Bart Simpson video game review, that walkthrough? I remember I watched like the first 10 minutes and I was like, what was this shit? Turn it right off. Comes on the next week, addresses the fact that so many people had a problem with it, and laid the cards on the table, and he realized that he messed up with that. So this is someone that can actually point out when he messed up and just speak out in front of everyone and say, yeah, okay, in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I think everything he's doing here should be commended. I mean, I know a lot of people are upset, like, why would he get rid of the Nostalgia Critic reviews? That's stupid. His website's going to get even worse. All right, think what you will. But the guy's had a good run. The guy has made a significant amount of money. There's a number of publications, actual news publications, even from years ago, that have detailed what a success he has turned that website into. So yeah, I'm sure he'd be fine if it all just ended today. I mean, he's made more than a few pretty pennies off of this. So, yeah, Doug Walker, thank you for the entertainment you've provided for years on end. And actually, I want to thank him for mentioning Red Letter Media in one of his videos, because it's because of Doug Walker and him mentioning Red Letter Media that I went over and checked out Red Letter Media, and I've been hooked ever since. So, just as a cheap plug for that, but if you like Doug Walker and Nostalgia Critic reviews, you'll probably like what Red Letter Media does as well. Anyways, cheap plugs aside, everyone, just everyone calm down. And yeah, I know Doug Walker hasn't made 100% correct steps through everything he's done, and I know the comments are going to get filled up with, why didn't you address this or that, and the money he collected for this, and took a trip to Chicago. And okay, just everyone calm down. Doug Walker, good job with this, and best of luck to the future. The guy turned what could have potentially been nothing into something, and he basically made what he does a success. And more the power to him. So I don't got much bad to say about this. I know a lot of people thought I was going to turn on this camera and rip him apart for not doing the Nostalgia Critic anymore. So anyway, I've droned on long enough. Everyone, have a fantastic day or evening. Bye.